What's up everyone, my name is Bavin. Welcome to Pokélosophy, where we take apart the original Pokemon games to extract symbols, metaphors, meanings, and narratives that we can use as reflective and introspective tools to apply it back to our own lives and become better individuals. I think these games have a lot of great hidden meaning that we can extract and apply back to our own lives just to become better people. This episode came to me really quickly and I prepped for it in like less than 10 minutes. So it's a little rough, but I think the episode is perfect. I'm really proud of this, of what I'm planning to talk about today. And I think there's a lot of great meaning and value for the lesson. So what we usually do, we start with a quick lesson from a philosopher or a celebrity. There's usually a quote or a story that I refer to. And then I go into the gameplay and we'll have some fun with that. For today, what we're doing a book review kind of thing. I don't know what to call it exactly, but it's the first one of its kind. And what I'm going to be doing is going over a book I read that really brought some interesting perspectives on mental health issues. And the book is by Johann Hari, who's a British journalist. His background's in journalism. He doesn't have a background in psych, but he's been through a lot of mental health issues. So he created this book, or I should say written his book, called Lost Connections: Uncovering the Real Causes of Depression and the Unexpected Solutions. Great book. I do want to caution you though, again, he's not a psychologist. He doesn't have a background in psychology, but he's been through a lot, and it's essentially a metaphor or a framework for lived experience dealing with this and kind of going deep as just someone who's lived through trauma and mental health issues to figure out a way to communicate and share solutions that can help people. Great book. I highly recommend it. But we're actually going to do a quick summary of the book because this will draw into a lesson for where I am and what I observed in the Pokémon Tower. So let's get started with that. So the book summarizes 9 disconnections or lost connections. You can say, actually, yeah, disconnections. Let's say disconnections. Is that even right? Disconnections? I don't know. Let's just go with it, okay? I didn't like no hardcore prep for this. I'm just kind of improvising with this. And the 9 areas of lost connection or disconnections. This is really I'm sorry. You can tell how little I prepped for it. Okay, let's do 9 lost connections. The first one, so he basically outlines 9 themes that relate to not having connection, which we can exacerbate and cause some of our mental health issues, so things like depression and anxiety. So for example, the first one, let's just go through each one really quickly. The first one is insignificance in doing. So what this basically implies is like there's no drive or purpose in your life. There's no meaning, or there's no energy for you to do things. The second thing is no connection to others. So this is very straightforward. This is loneliness. You're kind of closed off from the world. The second one is lack of values. So what are your values as a person? A lot of people, often with mental health issues, don't have a sense of values or what's important to themselves. So they have no kind of way to gauge priorities and how to navigate the world without these values. The fourth one is very straightforward. Negative experiences. A lot of people have trauma and abuse from all walks of life. It doesn't matter if you're young or old. It affects everyone equally depending on their lived experience, of course. But one of the things with negative experiences, it's not just these one black swan events. They can actually be kind of micro events that accumulate over time, right? So I kind of view trauma and abuse and these sort of like big issues that people experience in 2 forms. The first form is like the big event. And the second form is what I call the piggy bank events, where it's a lot of micro or smaller events that accumulate almost like coins in a piggy bank, and that still has the same impact as one big event. That's what I personally went through with bullying and my issues with my speech impediment. It was a lot of slow, small accumulation over time. The fifth one is low status, so not feeling valued. So do you have a sense of value or connection to the world in that sense? The sixth one, you're a closed world. I think this is really important because one of the things with modern society, which I actually consider to be captivity, I don't think modern humans in the way we live with buildings and technology is any different from zoos. And a lot of zoo animals are unhealthy and unhappy and have a lot of malignant behaviors that are affecting their kind of well-being in these places. Despite all the incredible health care that we provide to these animals, it's not natural, and we're not in our natural environment as well. So even me in my own place, despite me thriving with my hobbies and interests, I still feel like I'm in captivity a little bit, and that's just a byproduct of technology and modern society. The seventh one is the lack of survival, or I guess a sense of hopelessness. There's some people just lose hope, and they just want to. They don't see any point to kind of move on with things, and that's totally understandable. Some people have such experiences that that's the logical solution to their problem, and of course, just as a side note, if I'm going through this sort of content and you feel like you need to talk to someone, please reach out to someone that you trust, especially these helplines. We're all trying to help each other with these things, and if you want, just comment on my video. If you need to talk to someone, I'm very happy just to kind of help there wherever I can, right? Okay, kind of going back to topic, environmental pain, so things like noise and pollution. A lot of people with trauma are often quite sensitive to a lot of things. I, for one, am quite sensitive to certain types of environmental stimuli. It's not a problem. I've learned to navigate it, but that can affect your well-being and the way you kind of balance yourself. For some people, it's pollution. Again, these are chemical or physical things that can affect your overall well-being and build, or I should say remove, connections in your life. And the last one is biological causes. Everything we just talked about, they all impact your brain chemistry. Serotonin, dopamine, epinephrine, you name it. These all affect your neurotransmitters, how these neurons are building around certain behavioral patterns in your head. They can feel rigid, but they're also quite flexible. Regardless, these experiences will affect your brain chemistry, and that's something to definitely note. On that note, one of the things I've learned about addiction, especially with things like opiates, so things like Oxycontin, for example, they can affect your brain chemistry for 2 years. That's why a lot of people on Oxycontin end up going on methadone, just to kind of alleviate some of their issues, and kind of wean themselves off of Oxycontin. So let's now. I skipped a slide there. The most important one to consider. The other ones all have meaningful effects, and I don't want to disregard them. But the fourth one, negative experiences, I think is the one. And he doesn't mention this directly in the book. Like, I think he tries to equally weight each of these 9 lost connections. But number 4, I think, is the one that causes everything else, or can exacerbate or make the other ones worse. For example, if you have a negative experience, so in my personal case, I was bullied a lot. You don't want to connect with other people. You feel lonely. And that exacerbates number 2. Then you feel low status. Number 5 goes up. And then you sense, what's the point? 7 gets affected. And then you close yourself off in the modern world, and you feel like you're in captivity, and this is where addiction starts. You can see how it starts, but I do think number 4 is the worst one, and the one that actually has the biggest impact in your life on how you handle it. And it's also your source of salvation, and I think that's something to really consider. So with that being said, he then goes on to build those connections again. And by using those 9 lost connections, you can do the reverse and build those connections. So the first one, meaningful work. What's your purpose? Or in the Hindu literature, what's your dharma? Like, what do you want to do? Like, what's your role in society? Everyone has a role to play. I feel like I'm more of an educator, or someone who can help point people's blind spots out. I don't know. That's something I'm kind of working with right now. But that's meaningful work to me, despite how small my audience is. Other people, communities are important. We are a social species. Our biology, even our eyes, are designed to be social. It's a huge part of our DNA and how we evolved as a species. And we need to have other people, despite our proclivity to have our alone time. I know, as a hyper introvert myself, I like to kind of have my alone time, believe it or not, in a very kind of deep isolationist way. And I found things like YouTube and the digital medium to be a nice middle ground where I can connect with people but still be an introvert, which is what this channel has largely been about for me. The third one is meaningful values, like building values for yourself that help you operate in the world. A lot of mine come from Eastern philosophy and religion. I'm a practicing Hindu, but in terms of basic values, I think we can all value honesty and integrity to bring some love back in the world. There's nothing wrong with that. That's an easy one. That is religion and belief agnostic. It's very simple. The fourth one, childhood trauma, revisiting the past. I have a funny story about this actually related to Pokélosophy. The reason why I started Pokélosophy was actually revisiting childhood trauma and my lost connections with some of my favorite memories being video games. My parents, to make sure I focus in school, actually got rid of a lot of my video games, and I actually felt pretty sad because I couldn't connect with other people anymore. That was a huge part of my life. And then I became kind of like an anti-depressed gamer for many, many years. So I realized it was a source of trauma. So when I started playing Pokemon again recently in the Christmas break back in 2022, all these memories started popping back up about like, wow, this is like, I didn't see it this way before, or I'm reinterpreting certain bad experiences in a different way, or I'm starting to evaluate, evaluate's the wrong word, but I'm just trying to like adjudicate some of these memories on what was good, what was bad, because I kind of had a skewed perspective in my head. And I think, and a good example of this actually that immediately affected me in terms of past trauma was I grew up with a speech impediment, and I'm really shy. So I actually didn't go up to a lot of people, and I couldn't even order coffee at a coffee shop until I was in high school. Like it took a while to get comfortable to be in those situations. And even to this day, to a certain extent, I'm shy to walk up to people. But because of Pokélosophy and me playing Pokemon again, I'm not playing without the guides, because one of the things I used to do as a kid was play with the whole Nintendo Power Pokemon guidebook, so I knew everything. So it alleviated my anxiety. Great for a game player, but it doesn't translate well in real life. So what I did was, when I threw that guidebook mentality out recently when I'm making Pokélosophy, I have to talk to every single non-playable character because I don't know what's going on in the game. And so that weirdly translated back into my life, where I'm telling myself, literally like telling myself, go up to that person, you might learn something from them. Because it's like Pokemon. I literally say, if I'm hesitating, go talk to them. You might learn something or get something from them. And I've had amazing conversations. It's amazing how shy and reserved I was like only a few months ago. And then now I can literally almost go up to anyone and ask a simple question in a genuine and authentic way to connect with them. And it's kind of builds up number two, right? You can overcome that trauma and then still connect with people despite everything. Because I had this belief that people were just like, think I'm weird or whatever. It's not true. People are super friendly. And on that note, that builds number 5, where you have to be a leader somehow. You can lead without a title. I'm not saying you have to be a CEO or a coach of a sports team. You can lead without a title. And a good example of this was actually today. I saw some coffee beans at Starbucks that was on the floor. I just picked it up and threw it in the garbage. You can be a leader in the small ways like that too. Number 6, connect to the natural world. The Japanese have a saying called Shinrin Yoko, which is basically forest bathing. Connecting to the natural world is really important. We are as natural and real as the animals and plants on this planet. We are one with them. And it's important to remember that, and you can go to nature and just see the wonder of nature. Think about how it works. Look at the patterns, the imperfections, the quietness. It feels good, and this is what they call Shinrin Yoko in Japan. It's called forest bathing, where you can kind of, they say the phytochemicals in the air help you, but I think it's more about the connection and the aspects of you walking and being one in nature and being part of the ecosystem again, with something that we've kind of removed ourselves from. Be hopeful and have a secure future. Chase a dream. Your dreams do come true. I don't care what anyone tells you. chase your dream. But have one. And it's going to be a rough journey. Don't get me wrong. But if you're hopeful that your dreams come true, it will come true. But you have to have that belief. So go for it. Chase it. Number 8, play. But more importantly, be creative. I think a lot of us, and I kind of blame the industrial school system as well as technology in modern society with adulthood, we lose our childlike curiosity. We lose our creativity. That is a source of happiness. This is what the Japanese also call ikigai. And it's such a great mindset to take. Like when you create something, you can really feel joy. I have a personal philosophy of you should always create more than you consume. So what does that mean? So that can be anything where you're creating something out of nothing, or like in my case, videos, or even cooking. Those are creative activities versus consumption where you're not exercising that creativity muscle. Modern society, heavily consumer oriented, we're not encouraged to be creative. But if you're creative again, you will instantly be happier. I can promise you. The question is, what's your arena of creativity? For me, it's a little bit of everything. I'm a very creative person across many domains. Pokélosophy is a form of creativity for me. And it's a form of, but it's taking out that inner childhood repressed play that a lot of us have experienced from number 4, childhood trauma, where we don't play anymore. So now we can come out in a way that's more authentic and genuine. There's a quote by Pablo Picasso. I don't remember the exact quote, but I remember him saying, it took me years to paint like a master, but a lifetime to paint like a child. So think about it from that perspective. And the last one's very simple. It's really about the grand connectedness of the universe. And the world is greater than your one self, but we all have a role to play. So kind of back to number 1, your purpose or your dharma, as they say in Hinduism. We're part of nature. We are just as connected as every tree and insect on this planet. We are connected to humanity. There's a oneness of the planet Earth and the universe and the solar system. These are fractal patterns we can see ourselves integrated with. And for me, I believe in a God. I'm not preaching religion here. I want to be clear. This is your personal beliefs. In fact, I'm a big believer in you got to be the best person you can. So like my personal philosophy in religion, I try to be the best Hindu as I can. So you can be the best Christian, Jew, atheist. I hope the way I practice Hinduism makes you a better person, just by being your authentic self. And that could be anything, right? Some of my best friends are atheists and we get along just fine. So, but we all have that same mindset of that we have to build connections that's greater than us to transform and transcend. Because remember, it's a network. We're all connected no matter how we think about it. So don't forget that. So that was kind of long-winded, went longer than I expected, but it is a decent book summary. So how does this relate to Pokemon? Gastly, we're fighting ghost Pokemon right now, and as you can see here, I have a little Gastly with a Johann Hari. Remember I said number 4 was the most important one. These are ghosts. They're your memories and your traumatic experiences, your abuse. These are ghosts in your head. These are memories that hold you back. These are memories that solidify your character and build your identity, but they haunt you. And you know what I'm talking about, right? Like me going up to someone. You know why I was shy going up to someone? Because of my speech impediment? Because I had weird looks from people as a kid. I saw their faces of disgust. Those are ghosts in my head. Those people don't exist anymore. Your past doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't control you. And just like a ghost, it's there but not there at the same time. And we have to tackle it just like that. Now, where this gets really cool on how these are ghosts. If you remember, in the last video, I actually battled this medium or spirit channeler. I forgot the exact name what they use. And she said, I regained my senses after I beat the ghost and she was kind of like, more conscious again. This is like a therapist working with someone who has ghosts that they're fighting with. It's symbolically important. It's really symbolically important. You can go up to someone and get rid of their ghost if they let you. You have to fight your ghost out. And that's and now she's connected again. So if I go up to let's say her, she's going to say something incoherent because she's not connected to the society. She's possessed by her ghost. She's lost her connections. So let's build her connections. So we're going to battle her ghost. So I guess this is how a therapist or some of your friends or family help you overcome these sort of demons from your childhood and your past to help you reconnect back into society. There we go. Let's do this. Chandler wants to fight. Yeah, we're going to get rid of her. So I want you to just think about, oh, this is new. Haunter. The ghosts now haunt your past. This is perfect. I didn't plan this, but I did not plan this at all. This is perfect. So this haunter is haunting you. Let's symbolically think this is bullying because that's the one I relate to the most. Kadabra, let's try disable. Perfect. Nightshade. Oh, good. Excellent. You lick. Doesn't affect it. That's weird. I don't understand why that's a thing. Like, what, make it a psychic or ghost? I don't know. Let's change it to Butterfree. We'll use confusion. Ooh. Confusion. Let's go. Let's get rid of this old trauma. That's not that super effective. Oh, it's funny. Like, I guess the game doesn't really count for that sometimes. Ooh, okay, one more. Confuse. No, not confuse ray. Ah, confused. Don't hurt yourself. Yes. Actually, it's kind of funny. You know what's funny about this? I'm just gonna like pause for a second. Your trauma can also confuse you. How fitting is that the ghost Pokemon that represent addiction, trauma, these like past memories can confuse you? Very symbolic. I love it. Yay, level 24. Nice. Okay, so Chandler, the ghosts are gone. What did she say? Woo. I fell to the evil spirits despite my training. Okay, really important lesson here. There's a saying from the Navy SEALs. You either rise to the occasion or you fall to your level of training. Everyone, even as an adult, I've trained and done therapy. I've done all these sort of things, and it's still hard. You still fall for those like evil spirits in your head. I still have those ghosts in my head, the Gastlys and the Haunters from the past. But I've learned to overcome them, and I guess this is really good where it's cool. This is where we have to kind of train our ghosts to make them our Pokemon, right? And this is what the Jung calls like integrating the shadow. And it's funny because my trauma with like bullying, my shyness and curiosity gave me a sense of hypervigilance. So I know how to go up to people and ask them in a very comfortable way. So I can use those ghosts that were initially against me as leverage to connect with people. How cool is that, eh? Let's do another one. Oh, that's not good. Oh my goodness. Give me your soul. My goodness. These are like quite evil people. Haunter. Nice. Kadabra. Disable. Perfect. Confuse ray. Oh, I don't want... Can you ever get confused ray? Oh my goodness. Oh dear. Okay, let's change it. Let's do Hypno. Let's just end this. I'm tired of the confused rays. I'm tired of trauma confusing me. The darkness of the night confusing me as well. It's very fitting. It's excellent symbolism here. This is what I mean. I was really excited to do this episode because when I had the epiphany when I was doing dishes, obviously, it was just too perfect. Yay! Oh, that's perfect. Wow, Hypno has a strong confusion. I guess it's a psychic Pokemon, so it's a little better with that. Perfect. Now let's do... Okay, we got... I think she's okay. Hold on. Spoke to her. Heal up. Perfect. I love the fact that it's here. It's so good. I actually forgot about that because I was going to leave for the Poké Center, but there we go. Right. There's one there. Oh, she saw me. You shall join us. Oh, man. That's not good. I don't belong in cults, lady. Gastly. Ugh. It looks terrible in 8-bit, eh? Disable! Oh no! Okay. It's all good. It's all good. I'm fine. I'm just being a little over dramatic. Because why not, right? Nightshade. Confusion. Let's go. Do. Perfect. Nice. Love Hypno. So good. First time in my lineup, I'm loving every minute of Hypno. I can't. He's definitely making in my Elite Four lineup for sure. You know what's funny about this? I just realized something. So I got 660 non-inflating currency units. It's kind of like therapy, right? You gotta pay for a therapist. Yay, good. Let's just save it, just in case, because you gotta save your games. Let's do 1 or 2 more battles, and we'll call it a day. Oh man, repels effect wore off. I think I have another one. Super repel. Perfect. Okay, heal up. Purify protectives. Perfect. Okay, let's head upstairs. Ooh. Hello. Oh, blood. Oh, man, these are not... Holy moly. Just for the record, I do donate blood, so maybe she wants that. Gastly. She has 3 ghosts. Maybe it's like bullying, parental abuse, and more bullying. Sorry, I don't mean to trigger people with that. I'm just trying to like draw a narrative from the symbolism that I've been talking about since the beginning of this episode. Perfect. Nice. Confuse Ray. Yes! Finally! Oh! It feels so good! If you saw the last 2 episodes, you know how much this affected me, so I'm really happy about this. Good job, Kadabra, for disabling. I'm trying to train up my Kadabra as well, because it knows no moves, and I want to, like, get it strong. Because I might as well, right? As much as I can. But Hypno will be my main psychic Pokemon. Yay, 28! Chandler's about to use Gastly. Okay. No, I think we're good. Yeah, we'll make this the last battle. I think I don't want to drive this on, but okay, one more Gastly. We'll do. Yeah, we'll have some fun. Let's do Butterfree. Confusion. Come on, Butterfree. Ugh. You. Even sounds disgusting. Hey, too. It's like. I don't know. I would love to do like 8-bit sound effects. It's just a fascinating field. Fully paralyzed. Ah. No. Yes. Ooh. Supersonic? I can make you confused. I just realized that right now. Oh, Butterfree. Come on. Let's do this. You're almost there. You're almost there. Come on, Butterfree. Beat that trauma. Okay, let's just use confusion. Confuse that trauma. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, good. Perfect. Get rid of that Gastly trauma. Don't let it haunt you. The puns are just too easy. Trying to learn. Whirlwind. Oh. Yes. I believe I remember it being good. Supersonic. I don't want Supersonic anymore. Perfect. Chandler. Grown. Grown. Go for what? What happened? Oh. See, this is interesting. This is another kind of metaphor here. A lot of people with trauma and addiction, they're not healthy often, and they're malnourished and they're weak. And the only thing that keeps them going is actually the more of that substance. So, yeah, this is a great metaphor. Excellent. Okay, well, I think we'll stop here for today. Thanks for listening. This was a impromptu episode. I was planning on recording on the weekend, but I'm recording on a Wednesday night at the moment. And yeah, I just want to try a book summary. And if you like that, please let me know, because I read a lot of books about this about mental health and aside from philosophers and celebrities, I think there's still a lot of value from even doing book summaries. So let me know what you think, and of course, like and subscribe. And of course, I read through all my comments. Please, share it. I want this to be a way to introspect. And as I said in the early part of my introduction, I'm just tired of the old self-help content. I think there's more creative, more hands-on ways that we can all use and learn and grow from, like playing Pokemon and extrapolating some meaning with it to just help improve ourselves and grow as individuals. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.